What's going on, YouTube? I have with us today the man, the myth, the legend, an incredibly supportive member to all of us smaller channels, none other than Salivate Metal, and he's going to come and he's going to help us explore. How you doing, Sal?
Hey, all right, doing well. That's a great impression. Exploring is what we do, just for gits and shiggles. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, brother. You put out a really good video today. Um, but before we touch on that, one thing I like about you is you're always interactive with people in the chat. I won't watch people that don't do that. So I got to mention some folks here real quick. Nickel, I Review, World Money, PMG, not Poor Man's Gold, but PMG Galleria, Just Stack It, Crazy Legs Life, Conscious Stacker. Some good channels in here. Some real
Yes,
good channels.
good to see you guys. And I tend when I'm doing interviews, I don't watch this as much, but I definitely appreciate everybody popping in too and checking out Constitutional Stacker. Yes, indeed, awesome.
We got Jerry Parker. We've got Baby Brahma Mama. I love that.
And
That's a
Susan
great
Pitts is
channel.
here too. She's a police officer. I'm curious to see what her thoughts are on my latest video as well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was a great video, and I want to talk about that. Susan, Akadaka, Generic Stacker, My Silver Journey, Silver and Cigars. Silver and Cigars is a heavy hitter. He blows me away for views. He's doing well. Um, all right, so that video you posted today, for those who didn't catch it, and they should, you want to give them the premise about it?
Yeah, it was a member of the community, Cyber Curtain Twitcher, and that's just one thing I will say about this community. I do a lot of research on my own, but I also get articles and stories from other members of the community that email me, and I appreciate that. A lot of times it does require me to kind of look into it a little bit further, and I did some cursory research on this topic a little bit, but it was about how eight silver monster boxes of silver eagles were stolen from, well, confiscated, I will say, might be the correct word, from a traffic stop from Pennsylvania state troopers on Interstate 80. And this was about this seizure forfeiture, I guess, laws that many states have because they suspected contraband or drugs and come to find out, actually, there was actually news stories written about this. I thought it was just mainly a video from a traffic stop, but there was a lawsuit, and I'll probably do a follow up video about it. But nonetheless, it doesn't really change the overall premise of the story, but it's about essentially that you could be pulled over by a police officer, and even though you may not commit a crime and they may let you go, your silver could be taken if you're traveling with it, if there's a certain amount of it out there. So you have to be careful, know the laws, and know your rights as well. And again, it's not, I don't want to put a bad light on all police officers by any stretch. And I mentioned that in the video, but one of the things I was really wanting to get an idea from the officers or those who know the law. Civil forfeiture law, I think, is a big one that a lot of people mention in the comment section. And so, or civil asset forfeiture law, smart silver stacker. There's a reason why he's smart. That's great. Yes, indeed. Civil asset forfeiture law. And so that's kind of what that video is about. And but that's 4,000 ounces of silver stolen. Plus, there was other silver coins as well in there. But if you get a chance, check that video out. But yeah, so that's one of the topics I cover. A myriad of different anything related to precious metals is what I talk about on my channel. But I know you, Constitutional Stacker, Constitutional is in your name, and you're big on the Constitution, and that's part of who you are too. And I think that's admirable, and I think it's an important topic. So they all kind of come together. So in a sense, you inspired the video too.
Well, it's funny. I actually, by the way, Smart Silver Stacker is one of my favorite channels. Silver Wolverine, what's up, buddy? Gold Chick, thanks for coming by. So I actually commented on that video, and it reminded me of something I'd seen. John Camper, how you doing, buddy? And there was a video by a huge channel, and I actually posted the link in your video in the comments section because some jackwagon said when I talked about how that reminded me of a story, he goes, post the article or shut up or something. So I called him a jackwagon and posted the link. But in 2021, there was a combat veteran going through the state of Nevada, and yet again, it was state troopers. Hey, Justin, how you doing? State troopers, and They stopped him and they took his life savings. I don't remember how many thousands of dollars it was. And to my understanding, he was only able to get it back after, it went public and it went viral and it became such a thing that I think he got his money back. That is just criminal.
Right. Yeah. And again, I would love to hear from officers of the law in that video, and of course here too. But yeah, I agree. It seems like it's innocent until proven guilty for some of these things, and no crime was committed. Although the follow-up article that somebody did send me, because one of the things that I mentioned in a video like that, where there's a relatively controversial subject, is I want to understand the nuance of everything. I want to give the benefit that I tend to give the benefit of the doubt to the police in most of these matters. So I want to fully understand the whole scale and the scope of this thing. And so I may do a follow-up video, but really even in that follow-up video, it does not really it does not change the overall circumstance and as to what happened, because apparently this individual did getting all of the money and silver back after, I think, over almost a year. But they essentially kind of bribed him. In the process, there's a documentation of, they said, we're going to give you 60% back, or we'll give you 40% back. We keep 60 and we'll drop everything. And that's almost like an extortion type thing. And
sounds like a crime to me.
Yeah. And so anyways, but there's a lawsuit that was filed, and I'll get into some of that in a follow-up video. I don't want to give too much away here, but nonetheless, it's a troubling situation. And the thing is that, it's scary that thing can happen to good people too. And this guy apparently did have a criminal record, but that doesn't matter. He wasn't committing a crime that day.
That's just that's wrong. Supreme Ginger Stackers in the house. B squared. Johnny T, what's up? Don't ask. Hello, yo mayo. So did you guys catch Sal's live stream on Friday? I'm gonna put him on the spot here, and he doesn't know what I'm about to do to him. And I think it's gonna be fun. But I think once I set out the prop that I bought for today, he'll know what direction to go. Something very interesting happened on Sal's live stream on Friday, and I could tell he was very perplexed, as was I, and I think a lot of other people. So I'm just going to set this out here, and maybe he'll get the reference and want to talk about it a little bit. You know what these are?
Oh, yeah, the bungles. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Oh, yeah.
I bought these after work today just for this purpose.
I have not had those in a long time.
That was a weird thing on Friday, though. You want to tell people? You want to tell people about that chat experience that weren't there? That was so bizarre.
About the what?
The chat experience from Bugles Always Win on your Friday live stream.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the Bugles. That's right. The Bugles. Yes. Apparently, it was a very strange thing. It was the last comment was an experiment, or the experiment is done, or the program has run its course. Thank you for your time or whatever. But there were multiple different accounts called Mr. Bungles, Bugles, Mr. Bugles. I think it's Mr. Bungles actually. And it says Bungles always wins, or was it Bugles or Bungles? I'll have to look back.
I thought it was Bugles because he kept throwing out the bugle horn, but it might have been Bungles. I don't know, but
yeah, maybe it was.
This was close enough, I thought.
Yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, definitely. And it was. I've never seen this before ever on any of my live streams or any live stream that I've been a part of, where there were multiple accounts that were programmed like bots to just come in and spam the chat. It was like probably 8 or 9 of these things. And Nickel Stacking said it was Bungles. But anyways, like there was all these accounts came in, and so my moderators deleted them as they came in and banned them as they came in. And then finally, about maybe 45 minutes, an hour later, the final Mr. Bungles comes in and says, we have now completed our script and our experiment, and now that is all, or whatever. And then that one got banned as well too. But it was crazy. It was a crazy night. I believe some of them. I always leave the chat up for the replays of my live streams, but sometimes it doesn't show up. But if you get a chance to go through there, can't remember the timestamps, but for the vast majority of the chat or the live stream, you'll see it, and you'll see them delete those things. It's pretty wild.
I went back on that video, and I think the chat didn't come up on that one, and I don't know why that happens. That happens on some of mine too. I had someone get mad at me. They said, "Turn the chat back on." I'm like, "This is not in my control."
Right. It's hit
Wolverine
or
wants to
miss.
put you on. Wolverine wants to put you on the spot. He wants to know if you've heard of American Eagle Day and what day it is.
Oh man, American Eagle Day. That's the day that well, it's probably the if you're going to ask another member of the community, Silver Honda, American Eagle Day would be when the United States Mint released the Enhanced Reverse Proof 2019 S American Eagle, and he didn't get one. He never lets us live that down every time he comments, but I think that's what American Eagle Day is, and it was on July something in 2019. I can't remember the exact day.
Wow, you did pretty well, I'd say, with that. In fact, speaking of, you mentioned your moderators. Maybe if Sal can put something in the chat, maybe we can wrench him up. Just a thought. What's up, AKA? How you doing? KW. KW is going to start making content soon, I believe.
Oh yeah, I think you said that on my channel too. Sometimes, and I, there's some very polite members of the community who post and they never promote their channel, but and sometimes some of them I discover, or sometimes I check them out. Sometimes I miss out. So, but I definitely want to check out KW when he comes online. And for anybody else, I apologize if I don't. But you know what? While we're here, Constitutional Stacker, do you hear that sound?
I do. Let's take the spam call. Let's go.
Right, here we go. Here we go. Hello? Hello?
Hi, this is Natalia from Senior Benefits. How are you doing today?
I'm doing just great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Basically, we are providing information regarding final expense insurance plan like funeral, burial, and cremation expenses. So how old are you, please?
You're doing that basically. Can I get it in more detail? I'm 67.
Okay, 67.
Okay.
Are you smoker or non-smoker? Okay, sir. Are you smoker or non-smoker?
I am a smoke. Oh, she hung up on me. Son of a mother. Let's go. Didn't even get a chance to tell her that I've been wrenched.
Wow. That one didn't last long, did it?
No. Sometimes I think the actual program they use to make the calls blips out and it cuts them off. I think that's what happens.
I think they have a tracking program so that they know when you're online. The Silver Schminter, what's up? Tuli, hello. Smart Silver Stacker says, wasn't expecting this. It's funny because I was thinking to myself earlier, I was like, if Sal gets a spam call, we should roll with it. And he brought it up in the backstage, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. He's like, oh, okay. So I was like, if you get one, bring it up.
Yeah,
so
for those who aren't familiar, I do that on my live streams almost every single time, except for Sundays, because they don't call me on Sundays. But yeah.
Oh man, that's funny. Maybe we'll get another one. So does everyone know what's happened at the end of August? I'm sure they do by now. I think this will be a very interesting BRICS summit session. What do you think about that, Sal? Because we got some other countries wanting to get involved. Every time I turn around, I hear at least another one or two want to join BRICS, and I think that's
why they call it
news for us.
That's why they call it BRICS Plus. That's exactly right. And August the 22nd is the day, and I've posted a video about it. They're going to be announcing, will be announcing a collective currency, maybe something akin to a micro version of the euro that they will trade with each other. In other words, it may not be something that will be going and interspersed between each country like the Dresden Mint does in Germany that mints all of the euro coins, and then they print all the euro currencies for each of the member nations. I don't think it's going to be that big, but I think it's going to be a currency that will trade between nations of the BRICS nations that are members, and that is expanding. So, we got the regular ones that are part of the acronym, but others as well. And so I think that the one thing that some people have theorized or are predicting that it will be backed by gold in order to give it some legitimacy, because they don't trust really the BRICS nations are very much loosely aligned, and I don't know that they fully trust each other. To be honest, I think that the one common enemy, I guess, is the West and the United States, and specifically. And I think that once they get this system in place, Then they have the gold, the common denominator being gold. I think that's going to be, and yeah, the actual transit system is going to be replacing Swift, which is what's used now.
Right. Jenna, welcome in. Snakebite is in the house. SF, what's up? Let's see here.
Tulu, Gold Chick is here too.
Yeah, Gold Chick, she's a smart cookie. Generic Stacker, Bolmio, what? Anyway, I can't pronounce that. I think everyone in here knows Nickel and My Silver Journey and Tuli, but if you don't, you should go over and check them out. Those are great channels. Tuli's doing some smart or some interesting stuff on hers lately. She's kind of she's been doing comment reaction videos, kind of, which is kind of cool. It's kind of has a nice effect to it. I like that. Yeah, I think it's going to be backed by gold also. At this point, I'm kind of thinking they might use the euro, or I mean the yen. I don't know. We'll see. It's anybody's
The
guess.
yuan,
But,
you mean?
huh?
You mean the yuan?
Or, yeah, the yuan. Sorry. I'm trying to read the chat, and thank you for that super chat. I review. I'm trying to catch up in the chat. Yeah, I do. That's my guess, because China seems to be the one trying to broker the deal, right? Where they told Saudi, oh, you don't have to be afraid of Iran anymore. You guys should be friends. That way they can dump us as the petrodollar because they don't need our military protection. So I'm guessing it's going to be the yuan.
They're the definite power broker in all this. Here comes another one.
Let's do it.
Hello, My Silver Journey. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, ma'am. My name is Brad, and I'm with Hope on a recorded line. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm also doing good, ma'am. Thanks for asking me. I appreciate it. Ma'am, the reason of this call is to educate you that we have holding estimates regarding gutter guards. And
can you move the microphone further away from your mouth, please? Move the microphone further away from your mouth. You're eating the microphone. It's really distorting.
Okay. I'll do so, ma'am.
There you go.
I'm just asking, do you own a home?
Do I what? Do I eat cows?
Do you own a home?
A home, yes, I do own a home, and I also eat cows. I ate one for dinner tonight.
Perfect. And ma'am, do you know about kindergarten?
About kindergarten? Yes, I do. I went there as a kid.
No. It was gutter guards, like Guards.
I know guards. I didn't hear the first word.
Okay. So, like, these are the protective covers.
Disco guards.
Your guard.
My garden.
No, gutter guard.
Greta's guard. Greta Garbo.
Yeah, gutter guard.
Greta Garbo. Greta's garden. Okay, yes. Tell me about Greta's garden. I'm open ears. You've got me interested now. Go for it.
Okay. Gutter guard. Do you know about covers? Like, the covers?
Covers? I put them on when I go to bed at night. I put them over my body. Yes, I'm very familiar with covers. Yes.
Yeah. So the covers.
Thank you. Drive through.
The covers that you put.
Yes, the covers that I put over my body. Yes.
No. Don't put up in your body. Gutter guards are the cover that you put up on your gutters. Okay?
Oh, gutters. I put covers on my gutters. Yes, the gutter guard. Yeah, the gutter guard. Yeah. Do you want to sell me some of those?
We are here to provide you that.
Okay.
Sorry?
Right. Yeah. Go ahead and put me up with some gutter guards. I'll take them. Go ahead and sign me up for them. You've sold me.
Okay. Just hold on.
Okay.
Just hold on, okay?
I'm ready to give you my credit card number, my social insecurity number, and everything.
No. Take it easy. I don't need your.
I'm ready to hand over my constitutional rights in order to get these gutter guards. So go. Oh, son of a motherless goat. Sorry about that. He hung up on me.
He was getting pissed. That was great. Oh man. I did not. I washed my constitutional stacker mug last night so I could slurp with you, but I didn't make coffee. I ran out of time. I was too busy buying bugles for bungles.
There you go. That's right.
So I'm sure I'm not the only one that wants to know this about you. and I don't want to pry, but you are such a busy guy. You post, you know, numerous videos. You do scheduled live streams, and it's my understanding you also have a full-time job. Is that correct? And if so, how do you manage to do all that? Because I can barely keep up with things as it is. I mean, I got so much mail in my PO box right now. I need to go get it. It's probably not even funny. How do you do it, man?
Yeah, it's tough. It really is about prioritization of time, and I can't tell you how many times where I've been invited to go places by friends, and it's like, well, I can't do it that night. I can't, and even with the music stuff, it's tough to keep up because I'm in a couple bands too, and it's just time management. Working a full-time job than this, and it can get stressful. And I tell you what, there's times where I really do feel kind of burnt out, but I'm honestly trying to grow the channel. And actually, to be honest with you, Constitutional Stacker, I can't even help but be a little bit jealous of you because some of your videos have done really, really well, and it's amazing. And of course, you do put out great content. There's no question about it. But it's like, it took me years, a couple of years, I think, to get to over 2,000 subscribers, and things have changed. But it's a larger space. The community is bigger now, but it's just so I'm trying to grow the channel, and my goal is if I can get the channel a little bit larger, maybe I can scale back a little bit. But another thing is that there's just a lot to talk about too. But yeah,
There is, and I feel the space has gotten bigger now, so it's probably easier to grow now than ever. But it's funny you say that because my brother from another mother just entered the chat and said hello to both of us. That would be
hey,
Mr.
Savage.
Savage Stacker. What's up, brother? And he is one hell of an inspiration to me. Let me tell you what Savage has done. He found me when I had under 20 subscribers, and I never thought this thing would ever go anywhere, to be honest with you. And I commented on a couple of his videos. I got the sense that he and I were a lot alike, and he kind of took me under his wing, and we became great friends. And I mean, there's been nights we've been on the phone for 4 hours. It's ridiculous. But he's really helped me a lot and inspired me, and he makes me want to do that for other people. I mean, I'm not a very big channel, but I love working with the channels that are just in that birthing process, because I know what that process is like, and Savage did that for me. So I like to help do that for I like to do that for other people. And I still remember the day and the video. What's up, Maurice? Where it was a video I did many months ago called SLV versus physical or something like that. And I got this comment on there. Gun Girl Prepper, welcome in. Go check her out. She's got a great channel too. I really like her work. She's down there in the same state as Savage. Sorry about your luck, GGP. But it ain't much better in Oregon, I'll tell you that. But I saw a comment from Sal, and I was like, that can't be real. There's no way a guy that with this many subscribers is watching somebody like me. And I clicked on the page or on the picture, and it took me to your page. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. I had no idea that you were supportive like that to the smaller channels. So you're another huge inspiration for me, just so you know. So thank you.
Well, that's a huge honor, and I thank you. And I will say that, like I said, you and Savage Stacker as well too. Both you guys have posted some videos that have gone, near viral. They've really picked up a lot of views, and you guys are inspirational. And when you think about it, we all have different viewers. Like there's some people in here I've never seen before. So really, you're helping me out too. But that's one reason why I like to shout out other channels on my live streams as well too, to let people know there's others in the community. And I tell you what, some of these other channels that were very small back in 2020 are now much larger than I am now. There's there's channels that are less than half the age of my channel and have even less subscribers than me that are getting many more views. So it's fascinating and interesting how that dynamic works. For me, I've got to kind of scratch and claw my way into growth. It just doesn't come naturally. But kind of like my guitar playing, I got to really work at it to try to get something out there. But I'm not the kind of guy that most people really gravitate to either. So I don't have the personality probably that some of these others have, and it's all good. We all have our own. We got to be ourselves, and I think that's the thing with the. And I've learned that, you know, I can't really just be somebody else or try to do something outside of too much of my. I want to be outside of my comfort zone to some extent, but on the other hand, you know, you can spend a lot of time on a video and get very few views, and there's other times where you just knock one out and it blows up. It's odd.
You know, it's true. My most viewed video was somewhere between 26 and 27,000 views, and that's
Wow.
actually the one that got the channel where it needed to be. But you know, and I've had a lot of 9,000, 10,000, 8,000, 10,000. But if you go look, I have not been getting very many views lately, and people. Sal brings up the algorithm a lot. He's like, "Oh, the algorithm didn't take this one," and sometimes people bust his chops, but it really is a thing. And it sucks because you got to kind of study it and break it down, but it changes so frequently that there's no exact science to it. Like, for instance, the video I put out yesterday, I thought was good because it's something that's not talked about in those terms, and it tanked. It's not even at 700 views, which, you know, I put a lot of research into that video. I put a lot of time into it, a lot of thought. So it's frustrating when that happens. You're absolutely right. My views have been down. I think everyone's have been across the board, but yours are still pretty consistent overall. So you're doing better than me by far.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a new kind of a floor for, you know, my worst performing video is still doing better than my best performing video 5 years ago, for instance. But yeah, so there is sort of like, you know, there's an amount that, but none of my videos really blow up. I've never had one go absolutely viral, except for maybe one that went bacterial a couple of months ago, and now it's my best performing video, which is a subject that I wouldn't expect it to have done. Hey, baby Brahma Mama, we love you too. You're awesome.
Judith and Dan. Well, Silver Wolverine talked about that. His most viral video was duck eggs versus chicken eggs.
That's right. I did notice that on his channel. I was looking at it. Yeah, that's wild.
It's like what Smart Silver Stacker said. He goes, sometimes it's ones that you don't expect to take off that do well, and that's absolutely true. And then you can do one. You're like, oh, this is going to be a banger. I'm going to title it right. It's going to be the right topic, and it takes a dump. And as far as viral and bacterial, Silver might help you with that bacterial issue. I don't know if you're aware of that.
That's true. You're right, and very well may. I'm going to fondle some silver now so I don't get a cold.
You still have the stuff I sent you, right? You fondle that often, don't you?
Oh yes, yes. I've got a bag of silver, and I think yours is in there. Yes, indeed. 1962, if I'm not mistaken, quarter.
Anything anybody ever sends me goes in the deep stack till the end of time. I will die with it. And I've actually had people re-gift some stuff I've sent in, and I wasn't a fan of that. So thank you for fondling my little pieces of me, I guess.
I'll leave that right there. Okay.
Old man Jenkins, how you doing, buddy? Cobra Stacker. Okay, you said asking Cobra Stacker to come by. I actually he did a video that I started watching and I got interrupted. I need to go check him out more. He actually does some good stuff over there. Salivate.
All right, here we go. Breaking news, everybody. This is coming to you. Breaking news here on the Constitutional Stacker. He's probably going to have to change the title of this. Both I have two kitties. One of them I showed here recently. I don't really show them as much in the video as much anymore, but I wanted to show a proof of life one of the Soft Teak and Cuddly Kitty Part 1, the original. That's the name of the cat. And Silver Wolverine, his mind is in the gutter, like the spammer we had earlier about the gutter guard. But I'm going to go ahead and tell it, everybody. This is breaking news here on the Constitutional Stacker live stream. Neither of my kitties have had sex. So there's been no sex by either of the kitties. That you're hearing here first. A sex of the kitty announcement. No sex of the kitty. No sex in the city for the kitty. That's right. So just want to let you guys know that.
I got some breaking news too.
Go ahead.
Constitutional Stacker doesn't have sex anymore either, just in case anyone was wondering.
No, yeah. Oh boy.
I'm just too busy, and I can't afford it. They always take all. I always pick the wrong ones. They take all my money, so I gave up.
I hear you. I hear you, brother.
The Silver Sphincter, or as I like to jokingly call him, Silver Bunghole. He said his phone's broken, so he's not doing videos at the moment. You guys should go check him out too. He's a fellow Oregon boy. He's in the state, and Albie, what up, brother? And he he actually has told some interesting stories. He's got an interesting backstory. So if you don't know the Silver Sphincter, go check him out. Silver Bunghole's awesome. I love that guy.
Very cool.
It's too
Awesome.
bad he's not going to be putting out videos. That sucks. I got to tell you a story, Sal. I got to confess something to you.
Yes, sir.
Do you remember that Christmas live stream that you did when the markets didn't open, and then you just did an open panel live stream after that?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I just hit 500 subs that day, and I don't know what got me to do it, but I came up, and I came in around the 45, 47 minute mark. Do you remember before that I just disappeared and I had connection issues, and then I came back in the backstage?
Yeah, I think so. I think I do remember that. Yeah.
That's not what happened.
It was the first time you've been on the channel. It was pretty cool. Yeah.
That's not what happened. What actually happened, I got to confess, I had never done a live stream with anybody, and you were this huge channel and this god in my eyes at the time that I've been watching for years. I chickened out, man. So I had a conversation with myself. I said, you are going to get back on there. You were going to man up, and you're going to try to not sound stupid. And I'm glad I did, because it was a great time. I don't think I bungled it. And after I did that, I'm like, I can do anything. Let's go. Let's do a live with Mr. Beast. I'm not scared now. So that was an awesome experience for me. But the truth is I pussed out. I did at first, and I forced myself
Hey,
to
it's
go back
all
and do
good.
it.
And it was an honor to have you, and you were great. It was awesome. And the thing is, all you got to do is listen to my live streams and hear me, because I make a fool out of myself almost every single one. So it's all good. It's all good in the neighborhood. So yes, it was great. I didn't realize that was your first live experience. That's cool.
Yeah, talk about hitting a home run on the first one. I mean, not as far as what I did, but who I ended up doing it with. And like I said, so I've been on YouTube for a long time. And I didn't create content for many years, but I lurked, and I watched you, and I watched all the other big channels at the time, and I've been watching you for years, and I never ever would have expected that I'd be having a conversation with Sal on his channel, let alone this one. So it's crazy how things can happen like that.
And the thing is I don't know. I think as you're growing so fast, but these other community members who are big and large in terms of their channel size and everything like that, we're all just human beings. We're all normal people. We all have normal lives. It's just because I know I kind of felt the same way, but you look at some of these larger ones, and even some of the ones that have like hundreds of thousands of viewers or channel or subscribers, a lot of these people, we're all just normal folks, and just kind of doing our thing. And one thing I never want to think that I'm better than anybody else just because, how many views or subscribers I get. I learn so much from so many different people. In fact, on the comments, there's people that don't have channels at all that post some really good comments. I'm like, wow, that's really articulate. And I wish I would have said that in the video, or I wish I would have done this. And there's other smaller channels that really should be a whole lot bigger than where they are. They're much more articulate than I am, and that type of thing. And this is why it makes me happy to see your channel grow, and you get a couple of videos that have done really well. And same thing with Savage and other channels that do well. And I sell Silver Wolverine. I did a couple of videos that really blew up in the precious, outside of the egg one, in the precious metal space. So there's a lot of good creators out there. My Silver Journey, and these other channels that you mentioned. So just I think that the thing that's tough is we compare ourselves, and I'm guilty of it too. I'm thinking, well, why am I not getting more views in this other channel? It seems like, and I feel like some of the, I know we all, and I've used titles that try to pull you in. I don't want to say clickbait, because that, to me, I look at that as a negative connotation, because a clickbait to me means that you have a title and then you bait people and then you switch to another topic that's not nearly as good. But I always try to make the content to match the title. But there's other channels that actually have clickbait titles that are obvious and they blow up. It's insane. And
yeah. Every time I compare my views, I'm like, why is this person getting more views? Savage always puts me in check. He's like, stop it. Speaking of Savage, his exit's on fire. Looks like he's getting back to work. He's got to put out a fire now. You
Oh,
thought you were going home, bro. You thought
Oh,
you were going
man.
home, brother. Get to work. Put that thing out.
Yeah.
SF Stacker. I was going to say something like, you know, maybe I'll make a, you know, when you talk about clickbait video, I'm thinking something like, if you don't stack silver, you're going to die or something. You know, I can't stand those titles, things like that, because, yeah, I mean, come on, we got to keep it realistic. And
there's no
sometimes we have to draw people in, you know, with silver got crushed today when it goes down, you know, $1 or whatever, which is true. But you know, I've been guilty of that myself. You know, I was having this very same conversation with someone last night, actually, about how people that view and sub and have other, somebody who has a channel that makes content is no more valuable to me than somebody who watches. And without them, we cease to have a reason to exist because the message doesn't get to anybody.
That's right.
And a lot of people, if you would have asked me 2 years ago, you know, what someone had to do to create a YouTube channel, I would have thought that they had to have certain credentials and blah, blah, blah. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. That's the whole thing. And a lot of people don't realize that we're not special. We're, like you said, we're just people. Now, some of us have been doing this a long time. I mean, how long have you been stacking, Sal?
Well over 30 years at some level. But during that time, I stacked a lot less than other times. I'm not a hardcore stacker. Never really was. In fact, I bought more silver, I think, in 2022 than I had any other year in terms of ounces. But I'm not really a hardcore stacker.
You know, I've been stacking since 2008, 2009, somewhere in there. It's about 15 years, I'd say. And I started off really heavy, and I kind of just stacked, you know, casually for a number of years. And the last 4 years or so, I've really been stacking heavy. This year, I've probably been more aggressive. I mean, I can't even keep up. I think I've added probably 200 plus ounces in the last couple months alone.
Wow.
And a quarter ounce of gold. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of gold. I don't hate it, but silver's my love. But I do think gold's important to have in the stack because I think it performs better. Honestly, I think silver has more potential, but so I need to start stacking more gold for sure. But see, I'm very different about gold. You know, everyone loves American gold. I won't buy it. I won't pay the premiums. I'm cheap. You know, I like the Kangaroos. I like the Brits, the Britannias. I like stuff like that. To me, I don't care. You know, I had to sell an ounce of gold, my LCS. I went into Harry's one time, and I said, you know what I sold him?
What's that? Eagle.
APMEX rounds.
Oh.
And he goes, wow, I didn't know APMEX made rounds, and for a long time they didn't. And I sold him some gold rounds, and he bought them, no problem, no questions asked. It gave me a great price. So, you know, nice. I'm a little bit different in my gold strategy. That whole, you know, it's very much like my silver strategy for me. I don't care if it's generic. I don't care if it's government mint. If it's gold, it's gold. If it's silver, it's silver. I am the epitome of a bullion weight stacker.
Right. Yep, I understand. And it makes it simple and easy. You know, we just find the best deal, no matter what it is. It's all liquid. Same, you know, as long as it tests right and as long as it's got a name on it that's recognizable, typically, there you go.
Yeah, it's got to be stamped with the weight and purity because, you know, for me, I mean, and that honestly, that's why I don't stack pre-33. I think it's awesome. I think it's killer, but you know, the percentages, you know, it's 90% and it's not full ounces. I'm just the epitome of a weight stacker. I want to know what's in my hand.
Right. Understandable.
Yeah. And I agree with Wolverine. Gold does hold its value a whole lot better than silver. Let's be honest. But the way I figure it, my goal is to buy all the silver in the world. So I'll have so much of it, it won't matter.
There you go. Yeah. And I've kind of, in my stacking journey, since about 2017, I've gone in real heavy on gold for part of what Silver Wolverine says, and also just storage, you know, keeping up with, and that story from yesterday is one example. If they would have had that amount in gold, they could have hidden that somewhere in that vehicle and they would have never found it. The cops would have never found the gold if that was in gold.
That's a very good point. It is, you know, and I just ran into a problem between I'm big on the Second Amendment. I've probably got about 24 functional and one that's down, but I got about 25 Second Amendment tools. And nice. And between that and the amount of bullion I have, I got to a point where I could not fit another ounce in that safe. So I had to buy another safe. And, yeah, it was kind of a pain, especially, to get it in the house, bolt it in and all that. But hell, it's a good problem to have. And now I'm thinking, how do I get to a point where I need a third safe? I want it all.
Yeah. The Silver Sphincter mentions a channel that's been around a long time. You don't see many videos, but Silver Slacker. I'm only saying this because he's mentioned this publicly in a comment, but he has about 17,000 ounces, last I checked, of silver.
That's a lot of silver.
Yep.
And
he has 1 full ounce of gold and I think they in the form of 2 half-ounce 2016 gold half dollars.
Wow.
If I remember correctly, that is.
I have a theory about Sal. I think Sal's stack is so friggin' big that whenever there's a shortage, I think he's the reason. Just saying.
Well, there's a full stack video, and really, it's underwhelming. Some people thought it would be a lot more than that, but it's not that much, really. But thank you. See, the thing is, as constitutional stacker, I'm not as smart as you because I typically buy the shiny if it looks cool. I mean, and even some of the stackable stuff, if I'll pay a little bit more for a round if it looks cool. You know what I mean? And that's to my detriment at times. And but believe you me, I've overpaid for a lot of stuff, and I'm a collector as well too, and so that is to the detriment of the stack. It hurts my dollar cost average for sure.
Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm guilty of it too. Thanks for the super chat. Just stack it. Sal's gonna do some push-ups for that, right?
Oh yeah, there we go. 5 push-ups. Let me give you 5. All right. Yes, indeed. Here we go. I'm gonna do 5.
He's actually gonna do it. Oh wow, I was just messing with him.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Have a little fun here. Thank you for being. That's fun. Yes, indeed.
Oh, I didn't catch that Sal video, John. He says, I'm pretty sure Sal has a video titled "My 1,000th ounce of gold," or my 100th ounce of gold.
Oh, no. You must have me confused with someone else. Sorry, John.
I think Sal has 10,000 ounces of gold, personally.
Oh, that would be nice, but no.
It would, man. No, I'm guilty of the collectible stuff too. See, when I first started buying silver, I didn't understand that, so I bought, and I do love the shiny. I love some matte pieces too, but I love a shiny piece of metal. I'm like I have a 1 ounce gold kangaroo. That thing's beautiful. And certain silver pieces I will pay more for too. But again, I feel comfortable doing that because I have a pretty sizable foundational stack. But sometimes I fall victim. I almost ordered a couple of Scottsdale stackers the other night. Nice. And I went with I went with a 10 ounce Asahi and some other rounds instead because the premiums were just too much, but I really want them. I don't have any Scottsdale, and I they draw me in. But and I think it was a 6 to 8 week shipping wait. I'm not waiting that long. I'm not gonna pay that much to wait that long.
That's the problem with buying directly from Scottsdale. You can go to their eBay page and buy there. You'll pay a little bit more with the eBay fees that are tied to it, but you get it a lot quicker.
Oh, I've never bought on eBay. I'm too paranoid. I don't use AppMix anymore because they're too expensive. I use Hero, Bold, and what else do I use? I use that's pretty much it anymore. I don't even use SD anymore because they've gotten to be too expensive for my taste, to be honest with you.
Right, yeah. You're definitely better off buying directly from the bullion dealers, but sometimes they will have specials on eBay, and the only reason why I do them there, if they're a reputable dealer on eBay, is it may be a little bit more than cash price. However, with the points you get back on your credit card, you're actually coming out ahead slightly.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, and I like Monument too. Savage turned me on to Monument metals.
Oh, yes,
fantastic. Yes. Oh, I think I got something on the way from them. See, I order so much silver these days, I don't even remember. I think I got 2 orders on the way, maybe 3. I can't keep up.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. Silver for me, the only reason I started stacking is because I was dirt poor. I mean, I was broke, You put $5 in my hand, I was going to spend 10, and I knew it would help me save money, and it kind of grew from there, and now it's truly an addiction.
Yeah, it's something, and you know that's the thing about buying precious metals is you got to be careful because you can get in trouble buying precious metal just like you can anything else.
Absolutely, I've done that to myself before. I'm not going to lie, and then I had something come up, and I didn't have the cash for it, and I had to sell, and it hurt my soul. It really did. It taught me a lot, though. It taught me that it's important to buy bullion I don't like. I did a video about that recently. Don't like as much, like just some boring buffaloes. That way, I'm going to try not to get in that situation ever again. But if something comes up, it'll be easier to part with that than it will something I actually in the stack that I like.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Let's see here. Real quick, you're a busy guy, so I don't want to keep you too long. But we were talking about other channels, and do you remember Silverfish VT?
Oh yes. I'm friends with him, a great guy, and he was. I look at him as the grandfather of the silver community, because before that there were silver and precious metal channels sparsely out there that created content, but there was no real community behind it. And he was kind of his channel started in 2012, I think July of that year. I came on board in February or January of 2013, and he was already well established and well respected, and just really encouraging and positive influence in the community, and smart. And yes, I remember him well. I'll always think fondly of Silverfish VT.
Do you ever talk to him out of curiosity?
Not anymore. I think since he left YouTube, I think I've had email interaction with him maybe once or twice, and but I have talked to him on the phone as well. But yeah, it's but last I heard, he's doing well. But yeah, he's just not on the community anymore.
I wonder if he'll ever come back. That sure would be cool.
Yeah, it would be cool. It would be neat, and you know that's one of the things that I remember there was a time in this community where some members were just saying, we got to stack, we got to keep stacking, we got to keep stacking. And so he and I discussed and said, we're going to use our platforms to try to teach fiscal responsibility. And I've tried to carry that torch in his absence as much as I could. And even while he was there, he said, Sal, you ought to talk about this because it's a bad thing. I've seen people get in trouble. I've gotten PMs. That was back in the days when YouTube had PMs. Yeah, private messages, and so yeah, I've tried to carry that torch, and I also tried to be positive, like him, and just be an encouragement to the community as much as possible. I don't want to be Silverfish VT. I can never be his personality and everything like that. I got to be myself, but at the same time, I just want to try to carry as much as I can. There was only one Silverfish VT, and it would be nice to have him back. It would be very nice.
Yeah, it really would. Hey, Emerald, how you doing, buddy? And then Long Live Coins, I think I mentioned you earlier. Count Derpula is in this live stream. That's because Sal's here.
Hail Lord Preidler. Yes, indeed. Good to see Count Derp.
If you guys ever have about 3 hours and you want to do some SalivateMetal homework, okay? It did take a while. You can go on his page and you can find his very first videos. It takes a long time to get down there. I did this once and I never want to do it again just because it took so long, but it was interesting. You can see the evolution of how he creates, and you can do that with any of us. But I remember, what was it you would say? Hello, YouTube. That was how you started. You remember those days?
Yes.
Those days?
Oh yeah. And I had a little different voice then. I went through puberty since then.
And, but yeah, the good old days. So if you got 3 hours, you can scroll down there and get there.
YouTube is now putting back the sort by oldest. So you might be able to sort by oldest now if you go to the channel and you can see it. But you can see just how timid I kind of was at the time, and I still am to some degree. I never am quite full of sure of myself with some of the words I choose. I get stuck up on words and trying to figure out, what am I going to say here? I want to be articulate, but or if I can't think of a particular word I'm looking for, I kind of stutter, and I hate that, but it is
Okay,
what.
so I'm going to ask you a question, but I'm also going to ask the chat a question. Put a 1 for yes and a 2 for no in the chat, okay? Every YouTuber I talk to, on the phone, whatever, we all feel the exact same way pretty much about this question I'm going to ask. So 1 for yes, 2 for no. Do you all hate hearing your own videos, hate hearing your own voice? I can't stand to hear myself talk, and I know Savage feels that way, and just Stackett feels that way. What about you, Sal?
Yeah, the thing is sometimes I have to listen for some things, and so I've gotten used to it, but I don't like the sound of my voice. I definitely am with you. I don't like, so yeah, I definitely would say yes. I do not like to listen to the sound of my voice.
Yeah,
But I've gotten used to it.
See, me too. And I watch every video that I film because I'm like, oh, this sucks. Well, after, before I upload it, I'm like, okay, it's fine. So I have to suffer through it. But when I click on my channel and that default video plays, I'm like, shut up, make it stop. I just, and
But
a
you
lot of
got a
people
great voice. You've got a nice booming voice, Constitutional Stacker.
My nice, sultry, sexy voice.
Yes, indeed.
Well, Sal, it's been a pleasure. I know you're a busier guy than most of us could ever imagine. So unless you got anything else, I don't want to keep you too long. And I need to cook dinner and get to the gym because my ass is jiggling. I got to take care of that.
I never could get my butt to firm up. I don't know what to do about it. But anyways, yes, it was an honor. Thank you, Constitutional Stacker. Now I'm paranoid about my flabby butt, but I need to do more push-ups with my butt. I don't know how I could do that. But anyways, thank you for having me on. It's been an honor and privilege, and thanks for being flexible and goofing around with me here, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, man, it was fun. Maybe on your super chats, which people should always super chat Sal, maybe you can start doing squats, from that butt up.
Is that what does it? The squats? I don't have weights.
Helps.
Okay, all right. I'm have to do that. I need to.
Well, we all know you got all the ladies, so just throw one on each shoulder when you're doing your squats. That'll add a little bit of weight.
There you go. All right. Yes. Fire. No, okay. All right. Right. Thank you, Constitutional, and thanks you everybody
Sal,
for being here tonight. I appreciate you all.
You guys all rock. Keep stacking.
See you, buddy. Thank you.